Hi, I'm Mark, and welcome to Let's Vibe. So it's been a little while. Um, I think the last video I posted was probably in June, and at the very end of June, I took a trip, a long trip to the mainland. I live in Hawaii, if you didn't know that already. Um, I visited family and then I visited some friends. Um, I was in two different states, and I ended up staying a little over 2 months, which was um, quite a bit longer than I had initially. Well, I think I had always planned it to be a long trip, but I didn't know what to tell people. Um, because I wasn't totally sure how things were going to pan out. So I kept it on the shorter side anyway, kind of irrelevant. But I finally I'm back home, and I wanted to make a video just to share how things did pan out. Because in June, I was really scared. I was really scared of what the future held. Um, a lot of it had to do with my finances. I basically had a financial shakeup, a financial change, although that's what it seemed like. It seemed like it was, gonna disappear, and, my source of income was gonna disappear. And so I was scared. I had a little bit of money saved that was enough to get me through June and July, or no, July and August. But after that, I had no idea what was going to happen, what I was going to do. I basically, at one point in June, I was really quite concerned, and I just decided to go online, look for some online job that I could do. I mean, the very thing that I knew and I know is not in alignment. That is not in alignment with me. It's not in alignment at all. I knew that. But I felt like I needed a backup, or at least a backup story, because I was about to go visit family, and my family was aware of my financial situation and the changes that had happened. And so they were wondering, what am I going to do? Because they knew that I hadn't been making too much money through Reiki or tarot readings. A little bit. I'd been making a little bit, but certainly not enough to cover bills. And so it helped, even though I knew it was not in alignment and I wasn't going to do it. It helped to be able to say, yeah, I got this job, this online work. It was it was basically a training for AI, like training AI models through proofreading and fact checking and that sort of thing. And so that was the story I was able to tell, like, yeah, I found this online work, and so I'm gonna hope for the best. July, I had a small family reunion. It went really well. and and during that time, I would have to say my manifestation work finally came into being. Like, it showed up, and it showed up, of course, in such a... I just realized I'm filming this in portrait. I never do that, but whatever. Um, of course, my manifestation work culminated in such a way that was never expected, would never have foreseen, and at the same time, so subtle, so quiet. It came about so quietly. It truly was just a realization that my money, in fact, was not disappearing. And it came about through a very simple technical thing. Yeah, it was all of my prayers answered in a moment. It was, it makes me want to tear up, but because I think about the past year. If you look at my videos from this past year, I talk about the struggle that I was going through, and that was hard. It was physically hard. It was emotionally hard. It was mentally hard. It was... damn. When I look back on it, I can really see how challenging it was, and I can see how just committed I was. And in that sense, looking at that, I feel this sense of, I feel proud of myself, and proud for myself, my past self, and my present day self. It was wild. And this summer, that's another thing that makes me want to cry. Because the summer season, for so many years, I'm talking a couple decades, the summer season was always so hard. It was always such a challenge. Last year was no exception. That summer was hard. And I came to basically expect it. Like, that was summer in my life, on my path. Summer was this time of painful, challenging growth. And this summer was better than I was able to imagine. I was scared to imagine a good summer and imagine the things, and essentially the things that I was wanting, the things that I was wanting to manifest this summer. I was afraid of imagining it, but I did it anyway. And I did it well because I had been practicing for years. in spite of the fear, in spite of these unknowns, I put in that manifestation work. And this summer was the most fun summer I have had in I don't know when. Like, I can't remember the last time. Maybe early high school, maybe even earlier, the last time I had a really awesome summer. I had so much fun with my family, and I had so much fun with my friends. And my finances were okay. I was okay. I had more than enough money to do what I wanted to do, to travel to the places that I had wanted to travel, to see friends. It's incredible. And yeah, it took, the process took way longer than I had ever wanted, than I had ever expected. But it finally, eventually manifested. And I just had to share that with all of you on this channel. And I appreciate your comments. I love seeing your comments and questions, and sharing about your own crystals. And yeah, I knew I needed to follow up because I had spent the last year sharing about all of this hardship and emotional pain and fear and anxiety. So I really wanted to come back after a very beautiful and transformative season, and just share with you the success that finally came into being. So yeah, with that, I thank you for watching, for listening, and if you haven't already, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share your thoughts, and as always, thank you so much for vibing with me.